Good afternoon. My name is Milla Toivonen and I work as a senior crew member in our company. Our topic today is why is reaching net zero emissions in aviation important? And I'm approaching this from the cabin crew point of view and focusing on board sustainability. First, we go through some facts to understand why reaching net zero emissions is important. Global warming is one of the biggest crises we are facing in coming years. This is happening because of increase in greenhouse emissions. And this will affect the aviation sector in many ways. When temperature rises, it will rain more and have more storms. This will all affect flight schedules by causing disruptions. It is known that aviation accounts about 2% of global carbon dioxide man-made emissions, and it's even 3.5% when calculating all the impacts on climate. Fuel demand in aviation could increase more than 50% until 2050 if nothing is done. Our goal is viable aviation. We have big threats for reaching that. Maybe the biggest one is this growing greenhouse emissions. And with it, also environmental thinking is growing. So the concept of flight shame is spreading. This can not only reduce demand for flights, but also make aviation not so tempting for investors. We have also many heavy old aircrafts, which fuel consumption is not so efficient than the new ones. So how we keep aviation sector tempting for investors? We have to change its image greener to do that, because we need investments that we can use these possibilities to reach this viable aviation. There is many possibilities with the new technology and with the new technical solutions if we have these investments to use. There are new technology for flying with low carbon energy sources like hydrogen, electricity, or maybe with sunlight. We have also possibilities to fix old aircrafts so that they can use low carbon energy sources like hydrogen. And we can also lightweighten old aircrafts interiors. so getting the aircrafts lighter. Also using sustainable aviation fuel or e-fuel is more expensive because the price for that is higher. One possibility is the regulatory measures, and with this we can diagnose our success and failures and improve policies. Measures are also very good foundation for airlines to build their own sustainability programs. Aviation sector has acted and made some commitments in some environmental programs. European Green Deal and EU's Fit for 55 programs are concentrating to mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. EU taxonomy regulations aims are to reward and promote environmentally friendly businesses and practices and support green investments. Paris Agreement from the year 2015 was adopted in UN Climate Change Conference. And this agreement is internationally binding agreement on climate change, and it agreed to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Also, IATA and ICAO has determined their own strategies. And these strategies is in support of Paris Agreement. And United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, were adopted 2015 as the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. There is 17 goals, but unfortunately, majority of IATA member airlines are not engaged with these UN CDGs. There is maybe one problem that there is no specific obligations or penalties for achieving these targets. So there is a differences how airlines are committing to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Commitments and agreements mentioned in the last slide are good guidelines for airlines to create their own sustainability program. But still actions that can be done now and without big investments must be found. One way to doing this is to examine our work routines on board. So I will now concentrate on in-flight service, which is in my responsibility area on board. I think there are some parts in onboard service that we can make more sustainable. Lightweighting in-flight service will diminish aircraft's total weight. And life cycle assessments of an aircraft shows that aircraft's weight is one of the most impacts on emitted greenhouse gas. Sustainability in a cabin can mean not only lightweighted in-flight service, but also light materials in cabin. But as I already said, I will now concentrate to in-flight service. In-flight service consists of food, drinks, packaging, and tableware, but it also consists some practices, and we have to find these greener ones, such as recycling, reuse, and ecological materials. According to study in Iberia, it has been counted that 51% of in-flight catering services weight was from packaging and tableware, and 49% from food. So for reducing weight in in-flight service, we need to reduce food waste and weight of tableware and packaging. And sustainability work is already going on in our company, and there are also some set targets to onboard service. By the end of 2025, we should reduce food waste and generated waste 10%, and our material reuse rate should be 46%. And there is also a target to sustainable sourcing and lighter packaging. So these should be with better reuse and recyclability. These are nice words, but I am seeing also some challenges. Main challenge is to reach the onboard service targets. We have limited space and time for sorting waste. Our flights is mostly under 3 hours, and the safety tasks takes major part of the flight time. We do not have separate bins for sorted waste, so we don't have a recycle bins on board. We do the recycle by arranging room in food trolleys, but this takes time and sometimes it's also impossible. Nowadays we can separate easily cans and bottles, but we have got some information that sometimes the cleaning company mix our recycled cans and bottles to our solid waste because due of rush. So they don't have time to recycle these already recycled items. We have difficulties to limit amount of waste. when our sales selection creates it a lot. We serve all our drinks in single-use cups, and our other sales items are sold in packages. Passengers also bring food and drinks with them also to on board. In every flight, there is also uneaten food from business class. There is a warm meal, the same one to everyone. And there is lots of reasons why passengers don't want to eat it. Just wonder if the food also in business class would be only by pre-order. Could it diminish this food waste from business class? I also understand that this is a difficult question because many of our business class passengers are very obsessive how this business class service should be and what it should include. All these tasks, so sorting waste and serving more pre-ordered meals, will anyway add cabin attendants' workload. If we serve pre-order meal to all passengers, it will anyway take more time than give them the same meal. How to influence passengers' food wasting and littering behavior? As we know, this kind of behavior is mostly behavior issues. And sometimes it helps if we give them more information, maybe from our waste management, or if we will have some visible recycling bins also on board. I just wonder if we would tell them that we don't have possibility to recycle all this trash, what they, for example, bring with them. Would they take them with them to the airport and recycle this trash correctly at the airport? I don't know. And then there is no direct answer to the question of most sustainable option for tableware used on flights. This is because transportation and the reusable ones have to be washed also. And there is many economical material what we can use to single-use ones. But I think because the EU is limiting single-used items all the time, the best option is maybe that we have to find a lighter material to reusable tableware, and then the most sustainable way to work with this tableware. And here is my suggestion what could be the main targets to achieve sustainable onboard service. Better management for waste to raise passengers' awareness of food waste, to diminish waste on flights, ordered meals during the flight for all passengers. And here are some my ideas how the sustainability in the cabin could be the key to net zero. So sustainable cabin is like greener practices and reducing aircraft's weight. So greener practices, we should have like good waste management, good combo for reusable and single-use tableware, and we should work together with passengers, cleaning and catering company with these issues. For reduced weight, we should have this lightweight and onboard sales selection, which could mean less choices and amounts. But in this, the information for the passengers is very important, because they could maybe buy some drinks and snacks at the gate from the vending machine. Automatization of pre-ordering meals should help the workload for cabin attendants. But there should be also discussion if there is a need to have more attendants on the flights. And thank you for listening, and have a good afternoon.